day's a day, a bad luck's always a coming my way.
For today's Grimm adventure, we are searching for the dead in Glasgow. And our first stop is this building that's right behind me known as the Paisley Abbey, because high above it, overlooking the city, is a very strange and unique gargoyle. And speaking of gargoyles, Baby Ghoul, you make a very beautiful, yet spooky, yet beautiful gargoyle.
Well, if you have ever noticed that most gargoyles are just kind of screaming at you, I thought a gargoyle is supposed to ward things off, so I should growl.
And speaking of gargoyles screaming at you, if you didn't know this, the whole point of a gargoyle, the grotesque, monstrous-looking stone structures on churches and abbeys, is to ward off evil spirits. And Baby Ghoul, I think you are guarding this Paisley Abbey quite well.
You shall not pass.
Now, of course, this place is filled with history. Too much to really talk about here. But we can touch on some of the really big important parts. The first one being the Paisley Abbey was built sometime in the 12th century. And it is said that Sir William Wallace was actually educated here. Now, the place is very old. And in 1991, there was a big restoration project. And a lot of the gargoyles that sat on the roof guarding this place from evil spirits were in a bad state of repair or disrepair. So they had to change them. And you ready for it? One of the gargoyles here is the xenomorph from Alien. We're actually here a little early. In probably about like 10 minutes, this place should open up and we should be able to take the cameras inside, well, if they'll let us. But what we really came here for is on the outside, so we kind of have to just walk around and look up. Remember what we always say about looking up? And at some point, we're going to see the alien.
I can see a sign through there that says the abbey was home to the monks of the Order of the Calamity, forgive me if I don't pronounce that correctly, for the first 400 years after it was built.
Since we were waiting for the abbey to open up, let's go ahead and walk over to the courtyard and take a look. Because this place is gorgeous. You know what, Baby Ghoul? I was just thinking, if there's ever a place that's going to have an alien gargoyle, I think this is the perfect place for that. So there's a gate over here. We're not going to go inside. At least not yet. We got to wait for everything to open up. We can kind of poke our camera over. Yeah, look at that. It turns out that most of the gargoyles on Paisley Abbey are actually on the courtyard side. And right underneath that window, right there is where you'll find the alien gargoyle. Can't really see it that well from down here. We asked about flying a drone, but because we are right next to a police station and town hall, it's not going to happen. But if I zoom in to right about there, you should see it. And of course, we're going to get a close-up shot, but here's with the video camera. How crazy is that? Again, all the gargoyles up there, they were just weathered away from water and what have you, that they replaced it in 1991 with a xenomorph. Truly terrifying. I mean, come on, it's terrifying. What about you, Baby Ghoul? You getting a good shot of it?
Yes, I am.
Pretty close?
Pretty good detail, yes.
So here's a close-up shot of the xenomorph gargoyle, courtesy of Jessica and her photography skills. Man, that is cool. That's really cool. But before we continue our adventures in search of the dead here in Glasgow, we have to go inside and take a look at the Abbey itself. Something we just can't pass up. And if I'm not mistaken, this little walkway is actually called cloister. It's a cloister, the cloisters. And basically it was a way to walk from one part to the next covered. I love how they have these different signs. The Abbey, that's what Jessica was reading earlier. This is seriously something like you would see out of the movies. Like the Da Vinci Code or some sort of medieval movie or story. Baby girl, look at the screen of the camera. Doesn't that kind of look like something out of the movie Alien? Like the ceiling and the lines from the windows? Oh, this place is amazing. We love walking history. And walking into the Paisley Abbey, we had to ask about the story of Sir William Wallace. And they said that he actually was born and grew up in a town not too far from here, almost right next to this. And that he was able to read and write. And if he were to learn that stuff, more than likely at that time, this is the only place where he could have got that education. The sound of the monks chanting really is haunting. Here's some more history for you. The area that we're walking in right now is actually the newer section of the Abbey. The wood on both sides is actually hand carved. But the section that we're walking in, like I said, is new. At one point there was this cave-in, they don't know why, maybe it was a fire or something. But everything that you're looking at right now, you can actually see the difference in the color of the stones. This is the original 12th century Abbey right here. Definitely mind-blowing. I can't believe that we found the ALIEN Gargoyle in Glasgow.
This is something that was really cool. I was talking with one of the caretakers here, that if you look way up and it looks like there's kind of a door in between the pillars there, that's because those are actual doors. Back when the monks were here, that section that juts out like an octagon, that's part of their path to walk through the pillars. So during their prayers, all the monks used to walk up there and pass through the pillars, come out to that section that sticks out, and go through the next pillar, through the door. And that's the only place in Brittany that has that kind of a detail.
We love a good gift shop, and of course, leaving here, we had to stop and pick up a few different things. And the first thing we got this really cool, let's see, make sure it gets in focus, this really nice little book about the Paisley Abbey. But here is the kicker. Go ahead, show it, baby girl. They had postcards, get a little closer, look at that, of the ALIEN Gargoyle. This is really cool.
I love that they celebrate it and that they have something that you can take home, so I got 2.
Oh yeah, you always have to buy 2.
I do, I have to buy things in 2s.
From here, our next stop is the Glasgow Necropolis, a place that we've been wanting to visit. And last time that we were here in Scotland, it was Storm Babette, and we missed it. We now find ourselves in the heart of Glasgow, and we are walking up to what's known as the Glasgow Necropolis. Now here's the thing. There are a couple different entrances to get into this cemetery high on the hill that overlooks the city. But we have to take one known as the Bridge of Sighs. You see, it's a bridge where back in the day, the funerals where people who were being buried in the cemetery would cross. And that's the bridge down here to the right. Now, parking here is a little interesting. You See, we only have about 3 hours, and it doesn't seem like a long time, but it probably is. But whenever it comes to what we do and our love for cemeteries, it could take all day. So we're gonna try our best to just kind of capture whatever we can of this place in the time that we have. Now, as far as we know, there's really no famous graves when it comes to pop culture here in this cemetery, but it is, after all, a necropolis, which is a city of the dead high on the hill overlooking all of Glasgow. Now, we have a little bit of exercising because we got to go all the way to the top, wind our way all the way up there to a certain mausoleum that kind of gives like a bird's eye view of everything around us. It is definitely like a park setting. These trees are really, really nice. We are almost to the top. Took some climbing, a little bit of exercising, and it is very bright and high contrast up here. It feels like I'm at the top of a cathedral. No wonder they call this the City of the Dead. Baby Goal, it really feels like we are standing on a building, like overlooking the city, right? Kind of like King Kong. So this is the tallest point in the Glasgow Necropolis, and it overlooks everything. And you have the necropolis right below us. You can see it all, and as far as the eye can see, man. Now what's really cool, you also get almost like a bird's eye view of the Glasgow Cathedral, which is right there in about the center of your screen. It looks like they're doing some renovation on the steeple itself. If we can get down there inside there after this, I'm all for it. I don't remember if I already mentioned this or not, but they did base this cemetery, this necropolis here in Glasgow, off of Père Lachaise in Paris, which we did a couple different videos on that. Put the links down below and you can clearly see it. I will say this, I don't know if it's because it's on a hill and it's just kind of like circular and it winds around, but this place is a lot more, I wouldn't say cleaner. It's just, nothing's really broken. I'm sure we can find something if we wanted to, but this is the City of the Dead here in Glasgow. This place really is amazing. And I don't know what it is, but every time we go into a cemetery here in Europe, it's always the perfect day. At least for us, like a good day for a cemetery safari, a cemetery visit. This place definitely feels majestic, that's for sure. I love these white statues on this mausoleum. Oh, even looking inside there. Was not expecting that. Let's get a closer look. Oh, wow. I'm sure somebody watching this is going to be able to tell us, but it looks like people leave coins at this particular mausoleum, whoever is here. So we're going to go ahead and do the same. Remember the last time we did this? It was in Paris, and you did this for Oscar Wilde, and he gave it right back to you. Walking through this place is something else. Pretty simple layout if you ask me, but it's breathtaking. You can see Jessica walking over this way. This mausoleum has 1, 2, 3, 4 doors. The gates are painted blue. I wonder if you take tours, if they let you in something like this. It looks like you can get in there, like they're new gates. Sadly, when it comes to statues and different looking mausoleums here at Glasgow Necropolis, there's really not that many. But what they do have, it's like this. Breathtaking. I mean, look at the wings, the faces. I mean, wow. It's almost like whenever you're in Scotland, it feels like it's going to start pouring down rain at any moment. Which is fine because it just adds to it. Look how massive this place is. The tombstones just sprawl down the hillside towards the city. It almost feels never ending. So I think that's about it for our time here at Glasgow Necropolis. I was wondering where you went. I can see your spooky little hand. You ready to go down and check out the Glasgow Cathedral? This place feels like a movie set. Oh, wow. This place is a lot different than most as well. There's a sign here that says Lower Church and St. Mungo's Tomb. So you can actually go down underneath the church. There are two stairs that go down, one on either side of the church, if you will. I don't know if this place wraps around, but it looks like it just keeps going down a couple floors. Oh yeah, it does. I can see to the right. Don't want to trip on the concrete steps. See what I mean? That this place is kind of like a labyrinth? There's people going down even more steps. It kind of feels like you're walking through the belly of the beast. Right here in the center of it all, I think is what is St. Mungo's tomb. And it looks like they're getting ready to have some sort of an event down here. Got some tables and glasses and chairs. They even have paper down on the floor so nobody scuffs up the concrete. Oh, they're probably tombstones. Now, baby ghoul, there are parts of this church, this cathedral that we just walked through that dates back to the year 1197. That just blows my mind. With that being said, thank you for joining us on another Grimm adventure, this time searching for the dead in Glasgow. Till next time, happy Halloween.
With Wherever I come, bad luck just comes my way. Wherever I go, hard luck is there to stay. Good luck never stays a day. Bad luck's always